See how I make coffee at home? Very mindful. I don't go to Starbucks. I don't go to Dunkin'. We use the espresso machine. Very frugal, very cost effective, very demure. Welcome. It's your boy, Coffee Man Rant, and we're back with another installment of But Not Before My Coffee. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. Glad to see you. But if you're new to the channel, this channel is here where we talk about life and coping with it with a little good morning pick me up in the form of some coffee. Sometimes that'll be at the shop, and other times it'll be right here in the apartment because anywho, let's tear you no longer and move into today's topic. So, diving into today's topic, we'll be starting a series. And this series will be based on organizational, structural, and planning based content. What spawned this topic mostly is because, as you may have seen from those of you who watched the previous episode, the month of August, I celebrated my birthday. And normally what I do every single year for my birthday is plan out how I want my year to go. Like on the New Year's resolution team. Most people do the New Year's resolutions in January. For me, it didn't really make much sense to do a New Year resolution when my new year is technically the day after my birthday or the day of my birthday. That's the beginning of my new year. My 365 restarts then. So I said, why not do my vision boards, planning boards, New Year's resolutions after my birthday? Makes more sense, right? Cool. With such, I wanted to go and start off the planning content with how I do my yearly planning. And I know you may see behind me, we have a board. And this is what I call the yearly planning board. I will pick a theme at the top of the board and I'll write down all the things that I want to do for the year and a little bit far ahead on the board as a guiding benchmark of this is how I want my year to go. And these are the things I need to do to make my year go the way that I want it to go. This board that you see behind me normally sits in front of my desk on a mantle a little bit higher. So every single day while I'm at work or at the desk, I can see the vision board of the things I said I wanted to do for the year. And with such, I break the vision board down normally into 3 different categories. So we'll go ahead and start with each category. This may help you. I change my board every single year. So what's on the board now definitely wasn't what was on the board last year. Maybe some elements, but not in totality. I'll even put a glimpse of what the board was last year as I show you the board from this year. So, starting off, well, the way that I normally set up my board is I break it in 3 categories. So for this year, we have a goal list, a checkpoints list, and then a true north. And you can break down your board in whatever fashion you want. But in my head, it makes more sense of what are the bullet points of things that you want to complete? What are the deadlines and milestone points of when you're going to complete them? And then lastly, what is your true north of things that you want to do with your life, maybe for the next 3 to 5 years, give or take? To start this off all together, I always make a title for my boards. So the title for this year was Year 31, Intentionality, Patience, and Peace. These are the 3 things that I feel like are important to me for this year and making things happen. So, make a theme. You don't have to do a theme. This is how I do mine. But the 3 things I do think you do need when you make this board is starting in column 1. Column 1 is a goal list. What are the things that you want to do with your life for this coming year, this solar year, before you get to your next birthday? So for me, I wrote on my list of things, which consisted of the projects that I actually wanted to work on film-wise, some little research and development pieces to grow myself because you can't be the same person from year to year. You got to grow. So you got to put in a little bit of thought process behind what you want to do and how to make it better. I am an engineer, so I need to get my license. So that exam license test is definitely on the board because 1, it'll help me get paid more. And 2, it's important if I'm going to still be here until I get into the film industry. So boom. Business growth, because of course, nobody wants to just keep running a business at the same pace it was from the previous year. You got to get better. Again, growth, development, research. So for those of you who don't know me at all or any capacity, and YouTube and Instagram is how you met me, I used to be in the band both in high school and in college. Something I wanted to do to give back to my high school in some form or fashion was creating a space for those of us that were instrumentalists in high school to develop and continue playing, because a lot of us miss that becoming adults. You get bits and pieces in college where you can play, and you get bits and pieces outside of college where you can play again. But I wanted to develop an alumni concert band so that we had a guaranteed space to continue developing. And then, thirsty. Last 2 points, which to me, I probably should change the color of this one because of how important it is to me. Content creation. I started this YouTube journey back in April. I've taken a bunch of pauses trying to figure out how I wanted to do this. And I'm going to get more consistent with the thought process of what is my content creation? What does it look like? And how does it operate? So content creation is on the goal list, and I'm going to break down what it's supposed to look like to me when we get to the next section. And last but not least, self-care. I've sucked at taking care of myself the last probably 2 or 3 years, trying to grind out and do everything that I wanted to do. Now what we're doing self-care wise is we're making sure this happens. Massages, pedicures, manicures, therapy, vacation, meditation. All of these things are important. They're going on the board, so I can look at it and be like, hey man, you ain't done that in a while, so let's go ahead and fix that. All right, now that you mapped out what your goal list looks like, you move to the next category. For me, it's a checkpoint. Checkpoints are, when do you want to do these by, or how consistently do you want to do the things that you have written on your board? So I broke down each of my things into a category. So it's film projects, festival reorganization, my PE exam, content creation, alumni concert band, and self-care. Broke all of these things down into different categories and then assigned a date or a time frame to it. So for some of the film projects, I've put in when I want to start working on them by, and how I want to break down a production schedule if we've already worked through the beginning phases of how I want to make them work. I'm trying to do more research and development, so I decided going to a film festival and actually experiencing it on the front end of as a participant instead of an entry would be interesting. Like, get some more understanding of what I'm trying to walk into. Again, my PE exam, I have to pass this before the end of the year because it's a goal that I set at work. So let's put it in my personal goals so I can visualize it and see it more often, so I can be like, hey, Randy, you have not done what you need to do to pass this exam. You can see the stress on my face about that. All right, content creation. Again, I said I wanted to be better and more consistent about doing this. So I broke it down into the days that I make the concept, the days that I shoot, and the days I decide to edit. These 3 days have to be locked off in my schedule. Why? Because if I want to do it, I have to put aside the time to do it. Got it? All right. Concert band, I decided on the day that the first performance will be, and then everything else should pan aside from that. I've already contacted people about doing it. Now it's time to actually put forth the effort and physically do it. And then last but not least, I said self-care. I don't want to put a day on self-care, but I do want to say monthly it should be attended to in some form or fashion. It doesn't matter if it needs to be just a massage, just a pedicure, just a manicure. I mean, I'm going to therapy monthly regardless. Something. I need to ensure that I give myself some guaranteed day where you take care of yourself. And personally, especially the men that watch this video, do the same. Put aside a time, a day, a week, a weekend where you dedicate some time to yourself, where it's just like, this is for me. This is me taking care of myself. Because a lot of times as men, we don't do it. Women are more prone to actually taking care of themselves properly and doing self-care journeys. Man, we just don't do that. And we need to do better at that. So set aside the time necessary to physically take care of yourself. And last but not least, vacation. I suck at taking vacations. I took off vacation 2 weeks ago, and guess where Randy went? Nowhere. I went to the massage therapy lounge. That was it. That was the only thing I did for my 5 days of vacation. I'm terrible at it. So by December or in December, I'm taking a real vacation and getting away from 1, the city, and 2, from everything. Just taking a break, unplugging. I'm going to do myself justice. I deserve that. Haven't done it in a while. So lastly, you have the True North category, which is the last space on my board. These are the guiding spirits of what I want out of life, at least for the next 3 to 5 years. I'm doing this YouTube channel. I want to get good at it. I want followers, viewers. I want people to actually enjoy the content. So I'm like, I got to keep working to get to that. 100K goal will at least show something, So we're going to see that. So if you're in this video and you like this video, you like where we're going content-wise, subscribe. We're helping with this. Help me, help you, help me. Got it? Okay. My first feature film and film series, one or the other or both. It would be great to have both, but guiding spirit, guiding light. I said a 5 to 6 figure business client or clients. That would be great. We'll see. We're going to work towards it. Debt free by 33 has been my motto since I was in my 20s. I want to get rid of all of the damn debt that I have attached to my name. Get rid of it now. I need to see this on a regular basis of you're working this hard because you want to get rid of this debt. We can do it. We all can do it. This ain't even just me. We collectively. Digital nomad life. I always thought it would be dope to just go and explore life and not be tied to the place that I live at. And I was like, I wonder if I could do that with a job that's fully remote. I know time zones and stuff will affect that, but it's like, are you capable of going and living with no thought process associated with just going from state to state, country to country? I thought it would be dope. So it's something I'm considering. Like maybe a 3-month stint of just going about the countries in the world and experiencing life outside of my normal sphere of living. I'm so used to getting up in my house and enjoying my house and my space. What if I just had a digital nomad lifestyle? It's a thought. We don't know if we're going to do it, but I put it on the board because I was like, maybe that would be interesting in a life experience. Then last but not least, brand sponsorships. I mean, I can work towards that. I don't even know what that looks like for me. We'll see. I just put it on the board. And with every board I've ever written since I started this, I started this in 2017, so I'm about 7 years into writing a vision board, planning board, yearly planning board, whatever you want to call it. And I always put a quote on the board. Last year, if you saw in the little clip that I showed, I put a bunch of quotes and a bunch of statements to myself because I needed that for that period of time. So this year, I just put a quote on patience because patience is something I've been actively working on probably since 2020. And it's something I want to keep instilling in my head. I think I'm better at it than I was. So let's keep it moving. But the quote for this year is, patience is not passive waiting. Patience is active acceptance of the process required to attain your goals and dreams. I think that's fair. You can't just wait and expect things to happen. Active waiting, which means you're still doing stuff. Passive waiting, you'll be waiting forever. So put it on the board, make it a reality. No. I got a 1 quote up there now. It might be more quotes later. We never know. But some takeaways and wrap ups from this. I'm a firm advocate of if you want something to happen, you put it in writing. It's in your face. You look at it all the time. You have a constant reminder to you of what you wrote of what you want out of life. It's putting manifestation in writing format so you can begin doing it. If you see it, you do it. For those of you that are trying to be more organized and be more plan oriented, start with your year. Figure out what you want, and then further break these down into smaller compartments. So, like I said, this is going to be a series. I'm going to break this further down into how you plan out your month, how you plan out your week, how you plan out your day. We got 4 weeks in September. Each week will go, now that we have the year out of the way, we'll move into the month next week. We'll move into the week the following week. And at the end of the month, I'll show you how to do day-by-day planning. Cool? We like that? All right. So give me any suggestions or give your thoughts on how you do your yearly planning if you are already doing this, or ask your questions on how you could better facilitate doing yearly planning if you want to start. So let's have a dialogue in the comment section. Cool? All right. Now, as you can see, this coffee is gone, but let me go ahead and give you insight into how I made this. The Fall Breeze. Ooh, like the name? Do you? All right. Let's go to the kitchen so I can show you how we made this. So, fall is approaching, and I wanted to do a drink that matched your good old sweatpants and hoodie weather. So, let's make what I like to call a fall breeze. All right now, what you need for this drink is your favorite coffee, your choice of milk, and these 3 syrups: honey, cinnamon, and ginger. Prep your coffee in your portafilter. Make sure the grounds are nice and loose using your WD-T, and then tamp the coffee. Place your espresso in the espresso machine and make your shot. Next, add your 3 syrups. I leave the pumps off of my honey and my ginger syrups for flavoring control. Sometimes I want more, sometimes I want less. So there's no real measurements here. But with the cinnamon, I usually keep it around 1 to 2 pumps. Next, add your ice. After that comes the oat milk, because of course, you know the motto, we only use oat milk, we don't do the cow milk. All right, and it's time to add your espresso shot. And lastly, top it with your straw and mix. Your fall breeze is ready for your enjoyment. All right, now, so what you all been waiting for, the taste test. I call this a fall breeze because to me, it just tastes like what autumn is outside. It started getting sweatpants weather, hoodie weather. This is your drink. So here we go. My favorite pastime of a drink. I love ginger and I had to figure a way to put it in a drink. So here you are. Try it for yourself at home. And yeah, that will conclude today's episode of But Not Before My Coffee. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel because we do have something new coming. I will be posting a short for the channel on what's to come next. It'll probably drop this Friday, so be on the lookout. And yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends that love coffee and in this case, loves organizational content. And yeah, go be great. And as always, peace and blessings. Coffee Man ran out.